Welcome back, people. This is Don't Sleep on the Couch podcast. I'm your boy, Mr. Prez, and with me always,
it's your boy Cash, aka Exec P, aka Cash Flow, aka Just Don't Call Me Broke. We back, baby. Another episode.
Hey, Cash. For the new people, maybe their first time coming over here, hearing about us, may have heard us through somebody else, you know what I mean? But can you please, tell them who we are and what we do?
We keep it simple, man. We talk about music, sports, just like you guys do. Barbershop banter, just talking shit with the homies. This is what this podcast is about. We ain't about the numbers. We ain't about the stats unless we trying to prove a point. You know what I mean? Trying to make your friends look silly. In those barbershop debates, we got them in the tuck, but we more speaking off feeling and just how shit really is. And then we got entertainment and culture. That's each and every week, every Tuesday at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If that's your type of talk, then, tap in with your boys, subscribe, share it, go to our Patreon. We drop extra episodes and things like that from time to time. So go see what we about on Patreon and support the movement.
Yep. Hey, Cash, this is a continuation of our mid-year review. We capping it off. We did the full top 10 albums already. This one right here is going to be the indies portion. And then we'll give our final thoughts over it all, through the whole thing, and we'll go ahead and run through some of that. So if you hadn't checked out our mid-year top 10, go check that out. I don't know why I'm glad that you coming to both or over here first. This is kind of what we live at a little bit too in the indie scene. Listen at that. Listen for the next good artists coming up, that we can introduce to the masses. You know what I mean? So,
Did you pause?
Oh, I
thought you froze. What's happening?
No. That we introduce the masses to. Yeah. But Cash, you want to give a quick rundown of, what we had over there, what we discussed on the top 10?
Yeah, top 10 was really basically from December to May of 22, December 21 to May of 2022. Kind of how we break it down is there's no way we could really give an album that drops in December, probably even late November, really the proper listen that it deserves and add it to a list. We feel like that's doing a disservice to the list in general, especially when you have some big dogs that still drop late in the fourth quarter. I don't believe it happens as much anymore, but nevertheless, I don't think an album that drops with 2 weeks to go in the year could be a contender for album of the year. We both thought that, so we kind of cut it short and cut the month short, and that's how we do it from now on, December to May and from June to November for our annual. So that's what you get with the mid-year. It's too much music coming out to really do one list. We want to give you guys something and some content for the meantime so that you can be checking for people so that you can possibly add them to your list. Maybe if you find these artists dope. So without further ado, man, we got a top 5 indie artists, but, I'm going to throw a little curveball in there, but I'm going to let y'all know as we start.
All right. Yeah. So if you remember last year, if you watched our last year mid-year review, it was a slow start to the big artists, the big named artists, because the COVID and all this. So it seems like everybody was holding music until they can get back out to kind of tour a little bit. That's kind of how it seemed to me. But during that time frame, it was a lot of indie artists that shined, and you know what I mean. They continued their success, or I think continue their progression this year into this year as well. So, but we had a lot more mainstream artists that dropped this year. I mean, it was flooded. It was hard to narrow down that list, but this is the indies. So let's go on and get right into it.
All right, let's get to it, man. Starting off, man. You want me to start off?
Yeah, you can start off. Started off on the other one. So.
All right, man. So here's my curveball. I got 10, Prez, but I'm going to be quick. I'm going to give you 2 for every one that you got. Because I got way too many guys that's deserving. I do these interviews. Sometimes I do them solo. Sometimes I do them on my own, depending on, how we work out and how our schedule work out, or depending on whether I'm just like, yo, Prez, I'm doing this. I like this artist a lot. So, I'm, get intimately involved pause, with just the music and listening to it and really narrowing it down. So once I really looked at the list and really got to it, I was like, well, I probably got just as much as I got for the rap one, as in terms of that people actually know and people that they heard of. So I wanted to just really put it out there to that artist that I really like, So starting off at number 10 for me, Know It All, OG known for smoking, Soul Surgery. So Know It All is a really dope artist out of Queens, New York. He's put out countless projects at this point. Really, really cool guy, man. Really funny dude, man, and has a sense of humor. And we've interviewed him, and go check that out. I'll put it up here in the little pop-up or something like that. But he's back with a, relatively new producer, OG known for smoking. You could tell that he has a love for music as well. So he's been doing a lot of these producer artist combos, which is like stuff that I actually like. So 2 songs off of that project, which the project is really dope and getting a lot of rave reviews, is Soul Surgery and Black Extension. Soul Surgery is really him just touching on just his. I don't want to give it away, man, but I just want to play the song. How about that? How about we do that and play the song, and then we'll rock out and talk a little bit more about it. Of course. There we go.
Know It All, OG known for smoking, Soul Surgery. We got one more we're gonna do for you tonight. Yo, feel like my body and soul had needed surgery. Urgently felt something evil emerging in me. Man, I was empty, ready to empty the clip. Puffed on a hemp, watch me empty a zip. Smoking too much, times I feel I need to quit, but that ship sailed. Bullets breezed by your baby girl pigtails. Shit's real, body and soul needed surgery. I need fixing, I get away and go fishing. Sip a fifth of hen. Niggas be telling stories like Pippin, a young goat that tried to floor me like the Pistons. Shit different, needed a soul transplant. My soul had a tramp stamp. Still I'm the handsome phantom, we hit like Mickey Mantle. Keep a girl shooter like Samus that'll slam you. Sometimes my fam like...
So that's Soul Surgery. Just a quick little taste. Don't want to keep y'all, you guys too long in terms of what we like. But then my 2 for 1, Prez, if you allow me to continue on, is Black Chidori, man. White Melodies. That's another dope one that dropped, man. He's been growing ever since that, we talked to him last on the podcast, man. But man, like, to be such a young artist and just kind of what he's talking about on the album from time to time, it's just like, man, he's growing, man. So one of the songs that I want to put out there, man, is it's either Bow to the Man or In Words to Gods with Patty Honcho and Numbs. He has the who's who of on his project, man. Like, I just want to give you a quick little taste of this joint, and then we'll be out, man. Land a Head Nod featuring Patty Honcho. That's the joint.
Authentic. Listen, nigga, I'm paying you mirrors. I'm trying to be at points where dollars translate into euros. A vacancy world is what my mind see. He never had a shift, only breaks the burner was his alarm because it's all the time.
Patty Honcho.
Let the wine speak. Tell your brother to stay conscious. Straight profit. Pray to the rap gods like Mason.
Jason Stackhouse, a mass route.
Okay. Black Chidori.
Other rappers capping, they bogus. I'm back and I'm focused, straight like a king. This my magnum opus. They thinking they own this only because our people never noticed. We wrote it in notes and children of Israel, all the chosen, Blue and the Nile River to all the water corrosion. Ain't lyrical miracle. I give substance off for a spiritual purpose. What's the worth then? Just 3 stacks of Mother Earth and concrete for your burial service, motherfucker. It's the land out your head, nigga.
If y'all want more, go check out Black Chidori, White Melodies. Go check out Know It All. OG known for smoking, Soul Surgery. Those are my 2 for 1, man. My 2 for 1 here. Had to put those out there because they have some dope bodies of work, man. So prayers on to you, man.
Hey, before can I speak on that Know It All a little bit?
Sure.
it's something I noticed with a lot of the indie people a little bit, you know what I mean? So far, like in this past like 6 months of when we've been listening to music, a lot of them throw Scottie Pippen up in there when they talking about Mike Jack, you know what I mean? Scottie's starting to get his respect, you know what I mean? Everybody throw out the Mike Jack line, but Scottie's starting to get a lot of his respect up in there. I like that.
For sure.
So that's it's going to come up in like several of these indies that we heard. I know they do that a lot. So for my number 5, I got Patty Huncho, Brawler, round 5. We did a breakdown. I think we did an interview with this for Patty on this one as well. So
yeah, we did.
Go check that one out. But yeah, just picking up right there off where you had on the Black Chidori. I think him and Black Chidori make a great tag team. They teamed up on a track here. Wrong Man. I thought that was great. It's only 8 tracks, so I listened to it all. But if I'm going to point you into anything, it'll be the intro, 5th round. Built This Land, Integrity, and What's Love Without You. So those are the standout tracks, and you know, just him and Black Chidori. You know, I keep saying it, like every time they team up, I'm loving how they continue to like see their growth and like how you know they're melding pretty good together, becoming a good tag team on all these tracks. But Patty Huncho come out a little bit. It was better production. If you've been following his tapes, if you can go back all the way to round 1 and you just seeing the production level just stepping up each time. His rhyme scheme is just getting better and better. And this one right here is, you know, this is his set, how he kind of setting it off. And he had another tape that released it later this year with Numbs,
yeah, called Life, yeah.
Loving that as well, but it fell in the June time frame. So really loving the Life tape that he had with Numbs as well. I mean, that's more of a album structured type a play. So yeah, but Patty came out at top of the year with this one, and you know, didn't disappoint, and then continue to build off that. You know, coming back 6 months later and dropping Life. But yeah, Patty Huncho.
Which one you want me to play off that? Because that's my number 8. I think you summed it up as well in terms of just how good it was. I like the beat production by Greenery on there as well. Like he really brought this to life. And Greenery has multiple bags that he gets into this project. I didn't know he really did the boom bappy type stuff, but like he did that well as just giving him some dope joints. And you know, Patty just really did the rest, you know, which is kind of easy, you know what I mean, for him at this point.
So for this one, can we go to Built the Land? Because I thought that one gave a little bit more of a subconscious type of rap, you know, being aware of the social situation around her, you know, building off that. And then and he later built, like, you know, add more to his scheme and everything, and like Life was more introspective, like, so he was going off that, like when he came on that. So you see it, like I said, you can see the growth throughout like all his little projects that he putting out. So
for sure. All right, with that said, man, let's play Built This Land.
Built the Land.
Built the Land, yeah.
Fuck, we built the land, but fight for freedom. Objectified, they like my hands where I could see them. Step aside, I will not join cause I could beat them. Let me teach them about the problems. We gon' solve it to decrease them. They will leech them, then turn back and calling us hungry. Hit me on the Monday, same shit like you, Solomon Grundy. I sparked the plug, me and my lady. We like hawk and dove. I show you heartless love. I'm in alignment with the stars above. I'll bar the judge. Grinded for a minute. I got sore bones. Roll the time finished like I'm Roy Jones. I'm cocky with it. Undefeated like Marciano. Y'all just rocky with it. You just play a role. Me, this my life, nigga. Yeah, I'm committed. You play the rookie. No passionate tones. I done see some gangsters boogie. Not talking glasses Malone. Rolling with Chiefs. Shout on technique like I'm Patrick Mahomes. I got some artists under me, but I am not crafting a clone. How the fuck?
Again, go check out Brawler 5. That's Patty Huncho. Production by Greenery. Fire project. Where were we? All right. So cool, man.
That was your number 8.
That was my number 8 as well. I'll roll right into my number 7. Numbs with One Man Band. Just kind of going back to kind of what we listened to. Like one of the dopest intros, I think, from a lot of these indie artists. was from Numbs, you know what I mean? And I played that song a lot, so I just want to play that one real quick, just so y'all can kind of know what y'all getting into in terms of the intro to his project called One Man Band. He produced it and he rapped on it. So, and this is all with doing production within 1 year, picking up an MPC. So quite impressive feat there.
Yeah, it's Numbs, the One Man Band, beats in the bars. I showed them the pen game, now I'm on to producing. Music without impact is so useless. Never stuck in neutral, always moving. If you always hating, just know that you're losing. I want an impact like Scarface in Houston. If you ain't shooting for the stars, then what you doing? I get on tracks and leave it in ruins. In the kitchen cooking like Boston, I'm brewing. They say Numbs get better with time. They ain't lying, cause the flow aged like wine. They don't do it like me, it ain't cocky, it's the truth. Make your head nod music and that's the proof. Take it up a notch, I don't know where, but whatever I land, I'm having no fear. My time is now, ain't waiting for next.
Once again, that's Numbs, N-U-B-Z, N-U-M-B-Z, One Man Band. Go check out that project and then go check out the rest of his discography so far. So that's my number 7. Prayers on to you, man. What you got at 4?
At number 4, I got JR and King James with the Weather Report.
Good one.
Yeah. Man, so they've been, they on the same label and been rapping together for a while. They started dropping like these collab tapes last year, right? They dropped the Weather Report 1, and then now we got the Weather Report 2. If you hear their story, which we did on the interviews before, both had been away from the rap a little bit, and they kind of find their way back and everything. And but you couldn't tell. You couldn't tell by these by the way they've been dropping. King James dropped the first 48 with Kill last year. Great album. And they came back, didn't disappoint again on this one. Started off with Scatter Showers. They got that whole I don't know how they getting those intros and stuff to end every song, but how they like slowly bringing that in, like they stand with the theme of the project with the Weather Report. They have like a meteorologist like kind of talking before every song, and got these songs to kind of line up with it and the subject matter just to be the same. So if you would play Scatter Showers, I think that kind of highlights it the best and what you're getting from the album or what you should expect from the album.
Sure. All right, coming up, Scattered Showers featuring V.A. Ta.
The heavy rain, the thunder, the lightning from last night has now exited out to the east, but you can see where scattered rain showers are to the northeast there. As we move through the rest of the day, scattered light rain showers are going to be possible, so providing us with some sprinkles every once in a while as the day goes.
It's full service when I spew verses, pure words, Smith my bars licensed, tender niggas can't renew permits. Them lies cater and the truth hurtful, but prove worthy of the damage when it comes around full circle. No fools lurking in my circumference, I'm nice and comfortable slaying imposters, cause we don't deal with those types among us. A type of monster I write with punches, the price for some can go for the low till my logo bigger than Michael Duncan. The right production can make a difference when painting lyrics. A masterpiece just a wasted gift if you can't reveal it. Valet was drifting, I'm walking into my greatness, willing to choose violence, crew driving, I'm breaking Phillips, took a bag, now I structure deals, I'm balling Leangelo. I ask him how does it feel, ain't talking D'Angelo. Y'all niggas different when the camera roll, cool on the smoke like it's Camel Joe, but pussy is camel toe.
Hey, we gotta let King James get off real quick. Let him get off.
In a penthouse with the finest of botanicals, day trading stocks, trying to watch where the candles go. A little different from the standard trope. We supposed to be animals, but it's only fly shit out the mandible. And my saliva's highly flammable, so if you need a 16 it's pristine, I can provide a manual.
Hey man, y'all go check out that Weather Report too. That's actually, on my list as well. So that's one of the two projects that JR is involved with on my list as well, man. So that whole project, top to bottom, man, like you could play it in about less than 20 minutes, Perez, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's 5 songs on that one. So just real quick, in and out. But I mean, hey, like that's been my morning wake up ride for a minute sometimes too. So like, hey, there you go on that. And the bars was on full display right there. You know, full circumference, full circle. Right.
Yeah. I like what they did, man, especially with it being so short and then adding in some of those features because I didn't know who V.A. Ty was. So I liked his verse. Definitely was familiar with KJ and Jakeem the Divine. That was that posse cut was probably one of my top ones, whatever category you want to put it in. Like
so you're speaking of the song Haze that's on the album.
Oh yeah, Haze. Let's play Haze real quick, because it's my pick, so I get a pick too, right? I get to play a song too.
Particles in the air. So when you've got dust or dirt or ash in the air, so it's quite different to fog and mist.
Hey yo, my demeanor is cool, calm, collected, aggressive with a chill manner. Build and destroy with hill grammar. Me and my niggas known to kill samples. It's homicide with my guys rock. The shit y'all drop is known to fill pampers. I switch a channel if you spit. I'm clawed on the bunk bed cause they ain't trying to hear that bullshit. They throwing shots claiming they empty and full clips when truth is ain't enough iron in they toolkit. You lack the vitamins and minerals, so stand aside. Disrespect ain't something you should romanticize. Rappers testing mine is something that I can't abide. My level is my level. It's excellent how I handle pride. Holding a pencil, mind can walk.
Wait a minute, wait.
I'm raising the torch, smoke you niggas down to the filter, ain't saving the shore.
It's like wicked rapture with the casualties. I battle these demons that be after me. Hearing voices from lack of sleep. I smack a beat like Nipsey. BET that my raps elite. My rapid fleet attacking the 7th season. I'm Master Chief. Guarded by my dead departed. I often reflect on their coffins.
Hey man, look, we ain't gonna let y'all get that whole thing. Y'all gotta go check out Weather Report 2 TWO by King James and JR. They had some really great features on it. Again, y'all check it out, man. Can't say enough good things about it, man. So
well, I love Indies Cash. You know what I mean? Like it's no track that they don't try to have any wasted tracks on anything because like, hey, they still trying to build their audience. So you're gonna get more of that hunger, more
yes.
Flow from everybody, you know what I mean? They trying to kill every track they own, and yeah, they ain't trying to conform to a sound as you're gonna hear in like the other ones, like the making sure something's got to pop. No, it's gonna be like, hey, this is my pen, this is my best work with every track they put on. So yeah, that was very evident throughout this whole Weather Report, and it's throughout these indies. But I'm saying like that's kind of where I go to the love of the underground because that hunger, you know, that I gotta stand out. You know, I gotta do my best because every time that somebody's gonna hear me is a chance for me to continue to build my audience.
Absolutely, Prez. And there's no tracks wasted on every last one of these picks, every last one of these guys these artists that we're mentioning. Like we really actually listen to it. We talk about it as if we would without a podcast. So we just wanted to, like you said, this is all about bringing these artists to the forefront. If you haven't heard of them, I know they have, tons of fans, but we just want you guys to become fans and like really digest their whole project, man, because like Prez said, there is no track wasted. But the next guys that I have is they're not quite a group right now, but they work together a lot. And I've mentioned this song quite a few in the line off the song. It's called The Big Three. T the Truth, Day Adrande, and Jamar Johnson on the production, man. These guys are talented, man. They're dual-hatted. Every last one of them produce and or raps outside of Jamar. So they just brought together this Big Three. Ultimately, the Big Three fell short in this version of this year. In terms of basketball, I had to put that out there, fellas. I'm sorry, but they had a great run. You had a great run, but. Yeah. The song that I wanted to play off this project, The Big Three, is 500 Ball. Yeah, check this out.
For each of you, what would it mean to your legacy to get another title?
What up, Jay? What up, Jamal?
able to achieve something that great more than once, that's everything. To say you.
Even if I don't score, they love me like I'm Scalabrini. Money ball, that's 500. Still, I bet they pay to see me. Going crazy on these beats. You know I always eat my Wheaties. Got me high, but that's the weed. Still, I just protect my peace. I'm on it till I rest in peace. I'm balling on a budget. I got 500 on me. That's like half a stack. Me, Day, Jamal, we take it back to back. I ain't signing contracts. I need half of that. Watch him lead a team. He free agent like he Brandon Bass. I just play the cut. I'm standing back. I'm not the type to stay attached. Talking like they up 20. Really, they been down bad. We do a lot to make them mad, but I don't plan on staying here. You know this the big three. We really never playing fair. You cross me, catch an ankle tear. Never try and take it there. I need a little blunt rap. I'll stuff a whole eighth in here. It's 500 when we ball, 5K for it all, but it's priceless when we talk. Yeah. It's only right that we do this. They've been waiting for it. What up, T?
That's 500 Ball, man. Y'all go check that project out. Again, another EP, short and sweet, straight to the point. You listen to it in 19, 20 minutes, you'll be done, and you'll be rewinding it back, man. Trio that, you know, out of the Boston area. So y'all check them out, man. What you got up next, Prez?
I'm going to have Boldy James with Real Bad Man. It was Killing Nothing. Have you heard this one?
Come on, man. Why you asking me questions you know the answer to, man? You know, listen, man. Look, if it's good, if it's, you know, listen, this will be the first time. This will be the first time I listen to it. Whatever song you want to play, this will be legit the first time I've ever listened to it.
And that's what I wanted to get out of you, you know, because like with Boldy James, like we didn't had our, you know, we appreciate like you know, his skills and everything that he do. We love his features more than some of his like projects that he done put out with Alchemist and everything. And I think that got kind of fixed with this project. Sometimes like, man, Alchemist, great producer, right? And, you know, they got the lo-fi and stuff like this. But I think with Real Bad Man, where he came in to add a little bit more ambiance to the production, a little bit more upbeat and a lot more bass into the songs, you know, where the track kind of is his counterpart to this, you know what I mean? It's adding to it. It adds volume to the sound, to the record, and every track on here. And I felt like this is a good, you know, if I was going to direct anybody to Boldy James, this is where I would put him on. I feel like you can totally see how he melds with the tracks a little bit and stuff on here, and you can hear his sound and how his kind of straightforward type flow, you know, it's aided by the production in this, you know. So bars, lyricism, what he writes, always been there, you know what I mean? But, you know, with the lo-fi and everything, it can kind of, you know how we say, like even with the currencies and stuff like that, some kind of can kind of, if you're hearing too much of it, it kind of just becomes like drowns out a little bit. But I think the production on this helps, you know, him stay in the forefront, help his bars stay in the forefront, and it like helps you go through more of an album. I mean, this ain't nothing new to anybody, you know what I mean? So if you think about it, like when we talk about Killer Mike back in the day, you know what I mean? So it took him a second. He had a couple albums, but the minute he got with his producer now, LP, and they became Run the Jewels, you know, how that perfect sound, you know, just bam. Now you feel everything that they say. And I felt like this how this did. You know, it just added more to Boldy James' sound. And, you know, he had already came out on the Benny. He was on the Benny. We spoke on that song that he was on the Tana Talk 4. And, you know, so that was already, you know, brought me to him. And I was like, man, okay, I'm ready to hear what's next from Boldy James. And then when this came out, I was like, man, I'm loving this compared to the last one with I said the Alchemist, which was more of just like, you know, that background. I ain't talking about Alchemist sound. Don't think on that. You know what I mean? I'm saying, like, you got to find that perfect production and what can bring you out a little bit more. And I think this one brought him out as an artist a little bit more, you know, his sound.
Yeah, and I like what you're talking about in terms of balance. And I think you captured it perfectly, because that's where I'm at with it. Like some of the Alchemist joints with him, I like for a particular reason, but it's always at times where it has to be one of those, I won't even say low-fi, but just one of those beats to where it just catches me in terms of the loop. So if the loop is just dope, it's dope. I don't care if it has drums behind it or what else it has on there. It's dope, it's dope. But often at times the production he chooses to rap over is where I'm like, it's not to say that he can't rap. It's just that the style, the slow flow, the style in terms of what he rap, I can't do it for an entire project. It's kind of like how you feel about Westside Gunn. Like, you know that he can put together a tight project or executive produce a really tough project, but can you listen to that for 10 to 12 songs? You know what I'm saying? And the same type of stuff when, you know, so that's kind of where I've gotten, you know what I mean? I liked it when he first came out and the stuff that, you know, when Alchemist kind of brought him to the forefront, but there's not a bad thing to say that production's carrying you. The fuller the sound, sometimes that helps somebody without.
People know who they work good with. That's all it is. I mean, Jay-Z always gonna have a Pharrell. He's gonna have the Timberlands. He's gonna have the Kanye. You know, these type of sounds he know he can like really kill. Like the numbers tell it. Everything else, you know what I'm saying? So it's nothing wrong with that. Like, once again, I use Killer Mike as an example. You know what I mean? His albums, you know, by themselves till he got with LP. Then they became Run the Jewels. Now they're up here. You know what I mean? Like their sound matches each other. So like. That happens with numerous artists. Look at Nas already huge, but I'm saying like that resurgence of where he got with like Hit Boy and stuff like that.
Sounds great on those beats. Yeah, it sounds great. Sounds refreshed, and that's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's like, you know, the production matters. Like this, you know what I mean? Like it just really just matters, and I don't think it's a carrying thing or anything. Like it just has to mesh well, you know, for good music. Sometimes. You know, I do want to hear a beat that knocks with your flow over it, you know, insert rapper, whoever, you know what I mean? It's not really specific to Boldy, but with Boldy, I kind of tapped out on it. But without further ado, man, let's play one of the songs that you rock with.
Can you play Water Under the Bridge? I think that'll give that'll give him a nice little taste of what we're talking about and, you know, what you can expect from on this one, production and lyricism wise. Skip it a little bit. Just go into the song.
You was running for student council. Now you a killer and a shooter, but we doubt you would take it all the way without having to say a mouthful. Break bread with your man, so let them niggas count you. Think you big fella, play big on the soil. Niggas a house you, catch you slipping like a house you, tap you in. Just to out you, should've never let him live and got him hit like I was about to, but I didn't. I was doubtful, hit or miss. Should've downed you, hit my hitter with a split. For that ticket, he gon' scalp you. Denounce you from the throne, KO chest, and we gon' crowd you with them hollows to your dome. Drace and text, speaking volumes, all them guns in your name. Make sure no felons around you. Shit be all funny games to ATF coming surround you. Jump right off into that water. Took a swim without a towel. Held my breath a little longer. If you did, it would've drowned you. Couple thousand sent them goons in the hood to take out his tonsils. I be hollering at the moon with the wolves to make them pounce you. All the bridges I burnt. All the thugging I did. All the niggas I murdered.
You can hear that, you know what I mean? Like how he's talking about the hood and the scary parts of it. Then you got the little scary little tunes in the background. Adding that little volume, that ambiance to it that's, you know, just propelling him to the best project I think I done heard from him, and I'll come back to this one quite a bit. So, but on that one, you got Water Under the Bridge, Cash Transaction, Open Door, 190 bands. The Open Door is the one featuring Rome Streets. Those are the ones that kind of like stand out for me. Cash, if you wanted to play any one of those, you want like let's try 190 bands if you want to try that one.
With the remote ain't targeting no strangers. Start sipping lean and smoking dope. Was harnessing my anger. So when they sleep, I'm wide awoke. It's hard for me to shake it. I ride with Didi right or wrong, regardless what we facing. Can't let these niggas do me bold or hard, it couldn't take it. I read the statement that he wrote. Was hard for me to face it. Keep the money close, never too far for me to chase it. Did some things that tainted my soul. That part of me is sacred. I feel like Sylvester Stallone arguing with Adrian. Biff of Veneo Patron, been partying with Satan. Say I'm controlling, that's part of my narcissistic nature. Left a half a brick in the Rover, parked it on Stahalin. You catch how you hold from the toy where we bleed the pavement. Stick at your dome, I feel like an archer when I'm aiming.
See? small shit like that. There's just small shit like that. It's small production tweaks. And he's probably saying the same things he's been saying. So again, you can make me into a believer. Just deliver the total package. Just give me the total package. Sometimes I get boom bapped out. You know what I mean? When it's just when there's nothing creative done with the production. Like, the rapper can rap his ass off, but sometimes, the production you pick.
I think it's like that's what we talked about on previous when we was talking about when I said about Lloyd Banks, the inflection in the voice and stuff like this, how you can add a little bit. If the artist ain't going to do it, if their flow ain't going to lend to that, then you got to do a little bit more on that production side to keep the listener kind of engaged a little bit, keep everything. Yeah, some people like, no, I just prefer this. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, as it's going to come out to say, like, you're not the masses. You're not what everybody's trying to catch. So if they're trying to continue to build, you got to kind of find that nice somebody else that can, add that extra little punch to you so you can draw in a little bit more or, pump up your flow a little bit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, again, man, name the Boldy James project one more time for the people.
Killing Time. Killing Nothing.
Killing Nothing. Y'all go check that out. All right. So up next, I got two more, sticking with my 2 for his 1 special. I got Phil V's God's Earth, fully produced by Klepto. Came across Phil V a while ago. Check out our interview with him as well. This is probably one of my the best interviews we had this year, just in terms of just him opening up and just really telling his story in terms of struggling with addiction and just really coming back from that and recovering and things like that. So this was really something that, I really wanted to get into and talk about in terms of a project, because he's really putting his full artistry on display with God's Earth. Klepto lent him some phenomenal beats, man, and they really crushed it. And they put together a body work that's really, really, really fly, man. So I want to really just put together a few songs here for you guys to check out and rock with, as I pull this up, man. He's really getting introspective on here, but this first one is Tower of Babel.
Tell all the people what it's meant to be.
Time to dig deep, man. I pray the Most High give me the language needed to connect the whole world. God's Earth. They say it's easier to fake a fantasy than face reality. The times I was burned, branded me, these snakes rattled me. My boy Mason lost the use of his arm from shooting dope. A year later lost his life to an overdose. Remember nights I prayed the Holy Father to hold him close. Self-inflicted demons are too strong for the Holy Ghost. Rest in peace to the others that fought and passed away. For all my people caught in addiction, I humbly ask we pray. If he could see me now, I wonder what my dad would say. Forever grateful for the life I have today, though at times I feel I'm unworthy, Lord, why you chose me. It's hard to live to the standards to which you hold.
That's Tower of Babel by Phil V. Last one I want to play for y'all real quick is 2 Alive off that same project, God's Earth. Shout out to Phil V and Klepto for this one. This is another joint where I keep playing on the playlist. Real head nod music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What up, Clip? Got me in that mode. It's a hell of a feeling when you still in the show. Yeah. The heights I'm about to reach, don't think they ceilings could go. Feelings a pro to all these amateurs. Ego, I'm about to damage yours, Talking bars, watch how easily I handle yours. They backpedaling, illuminating rap Edison. Stacking all this paper just to pass it to my relatives. What the fuck I need it for? I've been given the keys to go to some parallel dimensions y'all ain't never seen before. Separate you from your soul, break you down to fragments, then I realign your chakras back together as I make you whole. Make a goal, work hard, pursue and follow it. Even in the depths of depression, remained an optimist. And you, mind of a pessimist, what your problem is. In this world they only want to take, I got a lot to give. You only see life as
Once again, y'all go tap into that Phil V God's Earth, fully produced by Klepto. Next up on the agenda for me and my 2-for-1 special, when it's supposed to be top 5, but I got too many dope artists that we listen to just keep it to 5, so I had to give you 10. So
cheating, Cash. You cheating. You could have gave all those in your final thoughts and everything else. You could have said like, "Hey, here go the people that couldn't made it." No. I don't let you go. Honestly, I don't let you go.
Honestly, you want to know why I didn't say it? Because you didn't have a 10. I didn't want to make you put a 10. I didn't want to make you put a 10. I wanted to do top 10.
Yeah, I got a 10.
Well, why you ain't do top 10? Why we do top 10 in the albums and then do top 5 for the indies?
Cash, well, we'll keep it our behind the scenes talk to our behind the scenes talk.
No.
you the one who said.
I had 5. I've always had 10. I said it last week.
No, but I'm saying like you wanted to do it at the end of the year, 10 on the artist, but you said like keep it top 5 for the quarterly and mid-year. Go back. How many we did for quarter?
We did 5 for the quarter, but if it's half a year, you have more people.
I had 10.
Who your 10 then? Who your 10?
Well, now you're gonna make me go down here.
Where the 10? Where the 10? No, I'm just joking.
No, but I like if I'm going off the top of my head, Ian Kelly. Okay. That was somebody who's not. Man, I leave for
we get it for the final thoughts.
Closing. Yeah,
we get it for the final thoughts. All right. For number 3 for me,
trying to shame me on camera.
I said I got 2 for 1. You the one that said something. You the one that just said you're cheating, Cash. I was like, I always had 10.
It was top 5.
Yeah, because that was quarterly. This is the mid-year. More people drop. We gotta open it up. Why are we just keeping it? Why we keeping it to the 5? You know what I mean? And not giving the people what they want. Then we gotta give the people what they want, right? We gotta give the people what they want. I got hype with "Talk to Me Nice" at number 3 for me. He kind of came on the scene to where I really didn't know too much about him. I think first time I heard his music was shout out to Furious Styles, by the way, with all of the random EPs that he's dropping with his series there. That's the first time I actually heard hype. I had no idea who he was, and then when I heard him, I was like, oh shit, I've been asleep. You know what I mean? So I wanted to put y'all on to the project.
Our the producer Makari.
You're right. He did have hype on there, and he was with Sky Zoo on that song. Yeah. Yes, we interviewed him as well.
He the one who said like, "Hey, y'all got to tap in the hype."
Yeah. So there, good correction on that one. And I think I even talked about it. but that's where I remember hearing more of his, he had 3 songs, of course, on that EP with Furious Styles, the Basement series. So I probably remember more so of that because I think the America EP was last year that dropped or whatever. So, I didn't really check him out after that. But once I got into this EP, I was like, okay, this dude is serious. So Talk to Me Nice came out, rave reviews. It's in a lot of people's top 20, 30, whatever, list people have. I've seen him all over people's lists. So I wanted to play the lead track from the project called Talk to Me Nice.
Rappers I was supposed to be, what's in New York, I stand by the GOAT, don't ever doubt my reach. Give me this bitch to wreck some shit, I'm like a lawless shout. Exterior demeanor is calm, but trust me, my thoughts is wild. This for Henny, y'all niggas that ever shot me down. Stood on my word, my feet to the ground, yeah, they about to love me now. I'm still in my zone, I can snap and make half of my competition disappear, cause all these flows is just infinity stones. Any hate in the vicinity gone. When that's politely, either I'ma knock y'all off or y'all gon' give me the throne. Take the crown, watch how it fit on my dome. This was something I never doubted, I just could feel in my bones. If you test me, then I'm sending you home to the good Lord like a god. This nigga lost his mind on the song. Understand me, I've been grinding.
So, one of the reasons I liked his project, though, to be honest with you, he has production, some really dope production on here. He has a really good feature with Elzai on there, and also, some of his folks on there, Jay Keys, Manny Voices on Childhood Dreams. Those are 2 other joints that I like off here a lot, man. Some of them beats feel Rockefeller-esque, with the Just Blazes and Kanye's of the world. Just like you could tell the influences, in their beat selection and the producers there, you know, I don't know if that's what they were going for, but that's right up my alley. Anytime you do anything like that, then I'm all in. I'm all in, all ears. And then when you got the bars to match, you know, hats off to Hype. So that's my number 3, Prez.
All right, my number 2. I'm gonna land off what you just said right there too, because I think this next one like kind of lended more to that Heatmaker, Street Runners sound of the early 2000s with those little beats that kind of like talk to you, that's asking the question every time you do it, a la like Dipset used to, you know, kill back in the day, and lended more towards like the freestyle type flow with it. This is we're gonna talk about Rick Hyde Stemmer, and yeah, if you open up with like, he opens up with "Who Am I?" and that's one of the things, the beat saying like "Who am I?" and he kind of like speaking to it, rapping to it. That's kind of why I'm saying like the Heatmakers type vibe through it. But he continued to flow like on this song, on this one. If you remember, Rick Hyde cracked my top 10 list last year with Plates 2, and yeah, I think he just continued to build on that as gathered me as a fan on this, you know, as he was continued to build his reputation. And he said Plates 3 is coming up after this, so kind of mentioned that. He had Who Am I? Why Bother Talking? Arrivederci. He had Like This with Benny the Butcher, Poser feature Rome Streets, and Perspective. Those will be the ones that I kind of shoot you to as a quick 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 tracks on here. So there you go. Cash, but if you could play Who Am I, and that you see what I'm talking about on that.
For sure.
Yeah. Who are you, man? I always wanted to do that. It's Ricky. Yeah. Show me a second notice. The brightest and the boldest, who put everyone on notice. The producer and the poet. Growing up, it was so much pain, I couldn't even show it. It's obvious they see it, but won't tell you that they know it. Dollar candles lit the stairwell, kitchen full of roaches. Ma's house was a safe haven, weekends was my vacation. Brother facing 17 or 24 or 8 Lakers. Is this really life? Because I'm questioning with fate takers. Nobody is perfect, searching for a purpose. It almost wasn't worth it, now they pay me for the service.
And then like, so the other song that he got like similar to this is Perspective. You can hear that one too. And it's sort of the same little thing on that. Like, so he got like 2 of those type tracks on there. Then he got the one with Benny the Butcher, the one with Rome Streets. He got Arrivederci, which is kind of like got like a little sound bite up in there, kind of adding to it. And then he had one that he created the beat on his own for production. You know, on that slide,
I know what you about to say.
I still think he needs a little work on his production and everything, you know, but it's good that he's actually like going out in that realm, then presented to his own like a Plates 2, Plates 3 or something like that, and presented here. So yeah, if he continue to build on his production wise and stuff like that, maybe it gets up to that same level as all the other tracks on there. But he said, like, I create this beat. Hey, if you want to experiment like that, go ahead. This is the perfect type of place to do it.
Just don't tell us. You know,
yeah, don't tell us. Just let us
slide it in there on track number 7, especially if, you know, but he probably felt strong about it, you know.
Yeah. I mean, but yeah, you could definitely tell. Like, make us ask the question: who produced that beat? Because I didn't see it in the credits.
Yeah,
that was me. Yeah, that's kind of do it.
That's the way to do it.
Like, you know what it reminds me of? It was that Dave Chappelle episode, you know, going way back now. Where they was in the barbershop talking about the different types of music and stuff like that. And then during the actual show, he was like, hey, that one guy, he was talking about he can rap and stuff like this. And then he started like rapping and he did his own like nobody else did it. Hype up yourself. You gotta wait for everybody else. The people gotta feel it a little bit.
Oh man, yeah, man. Like I said, man, I like this project as well, man. You know, Plates 3, I'm eagerly awaiting it. Plates 2 was very high up there on my list. You know, from last year's albums that I actually enjoyed. I don't know if it made my top 10 list, but damn it, if we didn't talk about Plates 2 a lot, you know, we covered it on the pod and it kind of stopped us in the track. So if this is kind of what's more to come, you know, he sounds a lot more refined on this project. And then speaking of you leading off with Heatmakers and stuff like that, you know, that first time I heard that song with that flip is from a Joel Santana project.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So,
like, that's why.
Dope to pay homage, and a lot of stuff from back in the day is starting to get used again. I was just watching something with Math Hoffa's podcast, and they had the Rockwild on there. You know, he's produced for the Meth and Red projects, countless joints for Jay-Z, Redman in particular, and just a whole host of other people, you know, and he was kind of talking about like how stuff from really our early 2000s, late 90s era is being really remixed and resampled again, especially in this with the drill music and just in general. You know what I mean? Do It Again, that song with Jay-Z and Beanie Siegel, that was just done by the Lobby Boys, you know, Jim Jones and Mano, you know, paying homage to that production. So we're going to start seeing a lot more of artists who were influenced by the early 2000s, you know?
I love it.
Me too. I love hearing old joints.
Well, just stay away from the classics. That's all I can say. Like if
you're gonna do it,
if it's one of the classic ones, you got to really like come out and kill it. You know what I mean?
Come swinging for sure, because we gonna call you.
Know that you're stepping up, even to the ones like this. Like you got to come as equal as the artist came on it, or better. You know what I mean? Like don't be. You done had another 10 years to think about what you're gonna do. 20 plus years sometimes on these, like to think about how you can do it different and kill it. Don't come with the same flow and the same style and do it lazier. Like, yeah.
All right, man. So with that said, man, I'll finish it off with my 2 and 1. Number 2, man, is I Am God, Murder Castle. This project came at a time to where like I was listening to a whole bunch of other music, but like this one again is another one that once you lock into an I Am God project, you got to listen all the way through, ride around to it, because it's a lot of different little gems and just really just talking like I'm better than y'all motherfuckers. Like I like that shit. I like that somebody is bringing that back to the game and saying like, yo, I just really rap better than y'all. And not necessarily putting in your face like I rap better than y'all, but just sprinkling it in just enough to where it don't get annoying. But at the end of the day, he's really, really talking crazy on these projects and keeping it very Chicago on there, bringing his peoples back to the forefront in terms of where they belong, man. Chicago has a long lineage of dope MCs, some MCs that we haven't heard of that haven't made it to necessarily prominence in a mainstream scale, but are legends in Chicago, man. So I like that he's bringing folks out. You know, Water is another one of them guys that I listen to now. And, you know, he's really dope. Every single time I hear him, I'm like, damn, we got to get him on the pod just to talk, because he has like countless projects. But, you know, it's just always he's dropping another project by the time it's time for me to reach out, because he just really works that fast. So without further ado, I want to play one of the songs on here. He got the joint. And I don't know if this song was recorded like right as the Will Smith and Chris Rock joint happened, Off Your Shoulders, that song, you know what I mean? But damn it if it wasn't a nice little timing thing, you know? So I'll play Off Your Shoulders, I Am God, the Black Depths on production throughout this whole entire project. Speaking of Black Depths, let me play Off Your Shoulders, and then I'll play a little bit of Murder Castle, because he spazzed on his verse, and he probably should... Really, I don't know if he has more work out there. I haven't searched, but I just remember that verse vividly, like, oh, and then, you know, I Am God comes on at the end of the track, kind of, you know, talking about the producer rap better than most rappers. And I can remember in my head thinking like, yo, this dude is ill. Like, you know what I mean? So I was thinking what I Am God said the first time I was listening to it. So, but first up, I'll play Off Your Shoulders.
Charlie, there's a new joke going around. Have you heard it? What does the 5 fingers say to the face? What? Slap.
Nigga, you can get your shit slapped off your shoulders. And you can get your shit slapped off your shoulders. Nigga, you can get your shit slapped off your shoulders. And you can get your shit slapped off your shoulders. Nigga, you can get your shit slapped off your shoulders. Goofy, you can get your shit slapped straight off your shoulders. Nigga, you can get your shit slapped off your shoulders. Yeah, you can get
get your shit slapped off your shoulders. Nigga, you can get your shit slapped off your shoulders. And you can get your shit slapped off your shoulders.
Man, just the hook alone, Fred, like had me dying. Like y'all go listen to the verse. But real quick, I'm gonna throw on Murder Castle, and then I'll stop there, and then you'll announce your number one, and I'll kind of blend in with my number one as well, Prez. Murder Castle. This is Murder Castle.
Live from the 77312, rappers might get sent to the afterlife when he come through. I stay kicking that lethal shit, it's like I speak kung fu. Think you mastered the art of war until you meet Sun Tzu. Shorty say she on demon time, I tell her free come through. She gon' bust plenty of nuts and she gon' eat some too. Can't lead us earth for failure, gotta see my dreams come true. Need the G-Wagon, ivory white, but the seat's plum blue.
Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of what you can expect. Just some wittiness and then just straight barring your head off lyricism with some really, really dope production by the Black Depth. So y'all go check out Murder Castle A$APington. All right, Prez, what you got at number one?
Man, first I want to clean up what I was saying about the production on Rick High. I don't want to seem like I was hating or nothing like that, man. I ain't hating. I know that takes to produce and everything to actually like get out there and do it. Like you got to have that like ear. It takes a lot of work to actually get better at it. So it did sound smooth on this album, but I was speaking more of the forefront. Like I created this beat and stuff like this. I get you trying to sell this, but if you're gonna do it, let somebody else speak it to it, or let somebody request a beat by you and you playing on another song. Then I want to hear the little drops and everything. But I just think that's a better way to promote instead of you just saying, yeah, it's your project. Of course you can put your music on your project. That's all I was saying. Like, all right. Hopefully that cleared up everything. But
you cleared it up. You cleared it up.
Okay. Because I really like Rick Hyde. It was just
yeah. But it's critical analysis. Like you can have critical analysis and still, some people take it. People gonna take it how they take it, man. You know how this goes.
But I was saying it was just no thing.
For sure.
But final one is gonna be. I'm gonna cheat on this one, Cash. So it's RJ Payne, but it's like 2.
Oh, so you got the I know you got the Nino joint on there too, right? Yeah.
If Cocaine Could Talk 7, and then followed it up by Beautiful Pain 4. So great tracks on this. I think that If Cocaine Could Talk 7, I think we had a long episode about it where we kind of described everything about it. But basically, if Lino had survived and lived and everything, him coming back to it, right? And that whole perspective, even getting Ice-T to come on, do the intro, do little snippets in between on there, kind of adding to that whole little concept of the album. But the songs is what, you can do all that, but if you ain't got the songs to kind of back it up and the material within the songs kind of add to that whole little story, it's pointless. RJ Payne killed it on that perspective. The Aftermath, Nino's Revenge, Ghost of CMB, G Money, where he's talking about, having to, why he had to kill G Money and stuff up in there. Because he's speaking from Nino perspective. Just remember that. Business as Usual, Nino versus the state, why he snitched and all this little stuff. Him going through explaining that. It was great all the way through on that. And then he came back later on in the year with the Beautiful Pain Part 4, and this was him speaking about himself, you know what I mean, giving his whole little truth behind it and shedding a little light on that more introspective. So Mama Made It, The Curse, and Tough Love, you know what I mean? The Curse is just how he is in the game and not finding anybody to be in life with him type of a deal. Tough Love is him speaking on having to go back and help out family and be a father figure to his nephew and things of that nature. Mama Made It is just talking about the journey and stuff like this and how it's starting to pay off and everything. So great RJ Payne came to kill it. The way he ends all some of these verses, just timing that and pain, you know what I mean? Like at the end of it, like I think he killed it on the G Money one, especially like on that first verse when he was killing that, adding that in, man. Almost to the effect of, you know, how a battle rapper kind of add that in at the end, you know, just add that extra effect to it. So yeah.
All right, which one you wanna get into first off either of the projects?
Let's go with the G Money.
All right, G Money.
Check. First in command, got us lit. Even showed them how to purchase some land. Recruited Dutta and Keisha, never heard to expand. We moving dope so pure, you gotta search in Japan, I'm saying. Along the way came the gossip in jail. She like my brother getting hooked on the product we sell. He was. Anybody using logic could tell. The stripper had him turned out, the narcotic as well. The Carter got infiltrated and my brother stealing bread. You ask me how I know, cause he cut a deal with the feds, my nigga. Where the love? It wasn't real as we said. I shed tears, I put the steel to his head. You selfish, that's what he told me. I took the advice that I fuck a year. But how you make a hook of your wife? Smoking crack, fucking with cops. Take a look at your life. A bullet made his body shiver like I shook up the dice. He gone, never forgave him, ain't no energy left. Cause ain't no telling what that nigga would've did to me next. They say misery loves company. That hit me direct. Rest in peace to my baby brother. Still gets me upset. It's pain. No, it's
me. Yeah, like he just treat these joints like it be cinematic, but he still treat them like it's raw. It still feel raw. You know what I mean? I love that, man. I love that. What's the other
like
one?
I said, that perfectly timed. It's pain, like, you know, just to cap out that verse. Yeah.
For sure. What's the other one you want to rock out to?
I mean, we can sprinkle in a little bit of Nino versus the State, and then let's go to Mama Made It on Beautiful Pain.
Versus the State, wifey testified against me. My ego hurt from the gate, but why am I surprised? We all know that Eve worked with the snake. Facts. Even hired your cousin, despite I was stubborn. Shorty, if it wasn't for me, your life would be nothing. Mrs. Goody Two Shoes had you quietly thugging, society judging. So what? Every night we was fucking. Never thought you would tell. I'm forced to rebel. It's torture in jail to talk through a cell, nigga. Not only gave you the game.
I might have to go back to this after the pod, man.
Burn your cousin. Let's walk through hell, bitch. Picked a fortunate day to fight. Turn the tables. Told the law I was.
Man, y'all gotta go check this out. This fire, man. Let's go to Mama I Made It real quick. Let's take us all now. Let's take us all now with something positive.
This the shit that they can't do. Check. A nigga winning, but nothing was easy. I'm only grinning cause I feel like my mother can see me. I blew up in the 9th inning, discovered a genie. Bitch, I'm independent, don't need nobody budget to feed me. See these verses, you get a major, conversing with the creator. Trying to walk a straight line, been searching for the equator. I thought my purpose was working to get this paper. Now I peek when Alpha speak, it most certainly hit the betas. I got me a gift that's truly a blessing, nigga. Everything I am, I owe to Miss Ruby Evans. I was sick back when niggas was drinking them 211.
And man, you see what I'm saying? Like when I was talking about the Boldy James, this is the opposite. Need much of the beat. He feel like he owns everything, and his volume and his
delivery,
initial sound and his delivery like kind of carries a little bit. You know what I mean? He feels so.
He feel at home. He feel at home. Like he. Sometimes if you're stronger, I mean, we can keep it a buck. RJ Payne is the stronger of the two in terms of lyricism, like commanding the attention of the audience. You know what I mean? So he can rap with a more open, and open
the confidence
beat.
in his delivery. That's what I want to say. The confidence in his delivery. He knows what he's saying. It's something that you can kind of feel, and he's gonna put that right emphasis on the bar. Like I said, even to the point where we're saying at the end, that's pain. You know what I mean? It's pain. You know what I mean? To add that in, like so. He that little part, man. both of these great projects. Made me become more of a fan of RJ Payne, looking to what he got to continue to come out with. I seen him kind of sprinkling some other tracks out, more of like Ricky and
I think that's dope. I think that's dope. He's taking
so
some
he can
of
do
our
both ways, and that's what I think. Like that's what I liked about what he did right here. He did the concept, and then he did the introspective too. It showed you, no matter what you put in front of him, he can kind of kill it a little bit. So
and I like the single
RJ Payne.
Yeah, I like the singles he's been doing as well in terms of just what you were talking about with the Boys in the Hood and just the references to stuff that we grew up loving, but putting his creativity to it. You know what I mean? And it's really keeping his name hot. He got the little videos going with it to the, it's like going exactly to what he's talking about in the movies from his perspective, or changing the perspective a little bit, or changing your perspective on the movie scene, which is like, it's brilliant. It's brilliant, man. So great pick, man. As for me, number one, man, Shadow in the Shade 2. By JR. Top to bottom, I enjoyed this project. I go back to it quite often, riding around, as well as what we mentioned earlier, Weather Report 2. So I know he has another project coming out, but this one stuck, and with all the music that comes out, a lot of these guys are deserving on here. Every last one of them that we named, they stuck in some way, shape, or another. So I just want to play you something off of Shadow in the Shade 2. It's called Silhouette. And this project is fully produced by A.O. Shamir, who's one hell of a producer, by the way.
This is not an angry black poem. Though I'm angry and I'm black. This is more of a cry for all the black men who never given permission to cry. For all the black boys tried as men who were taught not to feel eyes and too many stares.
I'm missing my window. I feel that the feeling is mental. I feel like I'm distant from kinfolk. Does family still matter when wind's low? I feel I don't need to pretend, so it's all about me, not we. I ain't mention Nintendo. I feel no limit to limbo. Moving solo, fuck the world till she missing a menstrual. Probably leave for this shit get eventful. Don't need utensils, paint saliva, facing violence. Why I feel like I can't survive it. People showing love to me. Why I feel like they hating private. A feeling that I hate describing. Why I only trust my memory banks with my safe deposits. I feel that's my safest option. I feel
that's
like
JR, A Shadow in the Shade 2. And that's Silhouette. I feel like last one I want to play real quick before I let you guys go on our picks is Penumbra.
Slipping, I can't afford it. Keep that Nina by my side. I tuck her like Tellin Horton. Rap career lifespans may fly, but can be shortened. High praises from some goats. Now it's jumping like Larry Jordan, Paris Morton. When I ride through the city, ain't got the Aston yet. You want a big life? Most likely you chasing after death. Can never sway me. You niggas ain't got the answers yet. I'm asking less while y'all pass time. I'm trying to stand this test. Where the passion at, mental still on the run. Mind one is ill, cause every villain's a hero to some. Here go the sums. If you can add every mural I've done, you'll understand. Comparing niggas to me, 0 to none. We Euro the bums in this game, not a stage bigger. I gave niggas flowers, now I'm turning a grave digger.
If you like bars, people being introspective, and production all melded in one, what we've been talking about, go check out A Shadow in the Shade 2 by JR. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our formal part of our podcast in terms of our picks. Now we'll get into the debates. Like why Prez didn't have 10.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, because it was supposed to be top 5. So if I was going to do 10, of course, it would have been just like you had on that JR, A.O. Shamir, Shadow in the Shade 2 would have been part of it. Ian Kelly with Hit Make a Dot would have been, they had a short EP, four song EP, but I liked every little part of it. Long Way Home. You had Ransom, with No Rest for the Wicked. That would have made it. The Black Chidori that you already mentioned, the White Melodies, and then the one that you probably didn't mention that I would have on mine was Eat a Prophet, Too Effortless. Did that just come out? Did that one just come out? Did it make the list? Ooh,
I don't know. I don't know if it just came out.
Give me a second.
I know you recently been talking about his project.
Yeah, because I've been listening to it. Like, so that's just me naming off the top of my head the other ones that I've been kind of listening to. But since you didn't supposed to do 5 and you threw in 10.
Hey man, as I put the list together, man, it started sounding good, man. The playlist was fire, you know what I mean? And I had to whittle it down. Like some of the people that you mentioned, like the RJ Paynes and
no, that was April, so we good.
Yeah, the RJ Paynes. Then also now you didn't mention Plays too, but Rick Hyde rather. Yeah, those were some fire joints as well. And I probably got more that I enjoyed in terms of EPs and stuff like that people drop. Like a lot of these guys are like, what they're doing right now is like they're not removing themselves from the public consciousness. So it's so many people that we rock with that are dropping stuff, whether they're on the podcast or outside the podcast, that, you know what I mean? Like it's a lot of quality work out there. If you guys that are watching want to find it, you know what I mean? So I was just listening to, remember we had Ronnie Do Good on it. Did you know he dropped the EP?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, he dropped the EP, and I didn't even I'm just going through all the stuff that I add when I see people talking about their projects. I played it and I'm like, damn, this sounds really good, but I haven't sat with it. I recently caught it as I'm going through my list the last week or so, and I'm like, damn, this is so good, but I haven't had no staying power with it. So that's probably one that could probably inch his way onto there in terms of just what he does in terms of just full. Like when we talking about the full artist in terms of just making the good hooks, the good production, lyricism, and being witty too. You know what I mean? If you ever catch any of his videos, he's super quirky and being himself at the same time. That's what I appreciate the most out of it. And he can rap his ass off. So
yeah.
So definitely check out Ronnie Do Good. It's spelled just how you would imagine Ronnie Do Good. So check out his music and y'all tap in with his stuff. So I think that's the only other person that off the top of my head that I can really think about, that I didn't have in a top 10 or anything like that. But plenty more to go. Plenty more to go with this year.
And I know with the Boldy James and everything, the reason I think it came from that, because it was something that I grew more appreciation for with a different sound and stuff like this, So I wanted to make sure I highlight that, that little growth, little portion on that I kind of seen. I was like, okay, I like them in this type of sound more than the other sounds. So this right here is, a better body of work. So when I played that multiple times, several times throughout the year, keep coming back to that one because I was like, I like how he, that team up that he had on there. So I wanted to make sure that get, thrown out there. I want to appreciate music. I want to make sure everybody else is aware of it. Maybe something that kind of fell down, like stuff you're saying, like with Ronnie Do Good, something that you heard, but then nobody mentioned it. There wasn't that much talk behind it, so it kind of probably got lost in the mix a little bit. So if I could spark that to kind of throw your attention back to it, it'd be that Boldy James and these RJ Paynes. Make sure you go check those out. And don't, if you slept on that Rick Hyde, as you could tell, like that Rick Hyde, he was continuing to build off the same little momentum that I think he had in last year with that place too. So, looking forward to his full project as he come out a little bit more. And then Patty Huncho, he just been amazing in the growth on it. And like I said, that life, if I can already go ahead and tell you, direct you towards that, go listen at that, the life with him and Numbs. Start off there. It released on June 24th, which coincidentally is both of them birthday. So that whole pairing right there, I thought that was pretty good as well. So
for sure. Any final thoughts, man, to leave with the people?
Yes, Cash. We spoke a lot on everything, but we didn't want to be too biased and everything. But Cash also released a project. Cash, if you want to talk on your project.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to be biased because that's corny as hell. But yeah, man, I feel like I put out a really, really good body of work in terms of it's called Cash Flow Late Arrival. If y'all haven't checked it out, 9 tracks, clocking in just under 25 minutes. Put my heart and soul into that shit. So y'all check it out. More than a podcaster, more than a rapper, jack of all trades. I do everything, but I think I do this rap shit really well. So at the end of the day, I hold myself to the same standards that I hold the artists that we've mentioned on this project in terms of song making, structure, beat making, hooks, all of that stuff, and just how album flows. So I think you put my shit on, it sounds just as good as everybody else's shit. So y'all go check that out. Definitely wasn't putting that in the top 10 because that's not what it's about. But in terms of, final thoughts, man, keep checking out, keep rocking with artists that are independent. No matter how much, don't watch people's pockets, support them because that allows them to continue to make music, whether you support them financially, whether you support them, by sharing the music and showing your appreciation. Those are just the easiest forms of doing it and just, putting on for them, man. It don't hurt you to be a supporter, a fan, a fanatic. There's nothing wrong with being called a fan as well. You know what I mean? Just, keep everything in its proper context. Don't go too crazy with it. But yeah, man, y'all check all these artists out. Let us know if y'all vibing to it and, tag us, man. If you listen to it and you rock with it, tag us, in terms of, I salute y'all. I checked it out and put people on, man. That's all I can ask is put people on to the artists that we mentioned in this podcast.
So, yeah, I mean, that goes more to our overall little tag. Don't sleep on these artists at all, or these past projects that we mentioned. Go check them out. Give them your ear. Give them the feedback. And if you like it, help them out along the way. Purchase, you know what I mean, or support, like he's saying, like with a share, getting their music out to the masses. And that's kind of like what I love when we originally came on, the art of the put on, right? You know what I mean? Like we ain't big, but anytime we can speak on the artist or push somebody else towards because they ain't digging down in the crates for these things, then hey, I want to make sure their music gets pushed to whatever corners that needs to be pushed to. So there you go.
Exactly. So again, this is our bonus episode. We have a really dope interview, but y'all check that out. Y'all check that out on Tuesday. This will be out whenever you hear, whenever it graces your ears. It's a bonus episode, so you never know when the bonus is going to drop. With that said, I'm Cash, a.k.a. Exec P, a.k.a. Cash Flow. Just don't call me broke, going back to my old mantra. And got my man over here.
Prez, and we out.